Hey, how you guys doing out there? My name is Malak. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit the sub button and the notification bell to be notified when I do go live. Today we're going to be talking about co-parenting. The reason that I brought up this topic is because of what I seen on Team On 2 with Devon or however you say his name and Briana. It was recently that he basically leaked her phone number over Instagram. I believe he leaked her phone number, and people were calling her, giving her backlash, saying that you're a piece of trash, and just saying all types of wrong stuff to her. And this is the mother of your kids, like. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to figure out is, when is co-parenting come so much of a problem for these people out here? That not just them two, but it's like co-parenting is like the major thing right now that nobody wants to do, especially if it's like they take it out on each other instead of the kids, but they're really morally taking, not co-parenting out on the kids, because the kids need to be able to see both parents. But she's trying to put the man on child support, which he's already basically paying child support, but she's trying to basically get him for like child support and stuff. And she don't want him to be on the show anymore, and that's the only reason. That's the real reason why he's making money, to be in all actuality facts with you. That's the only reason why the man is making money and being able to make money. It's because he's on the show. Now he does have a job at a fast food restaurant, but I mean, come on, we all know that fast food restaurants don't pay enough. Like, I caught him on the show at one point in time. I don't know if it was second or third episode. He was saying that, man, she had a $15,000 body and she wants more money. And I'm like, really, it has nothing to do with anything about her body. He just needs to focus more on his child, and she needs to do the same thing too, because she's not with him, and they haven't been together, since the birth of this child, I believe. So, and it's just looking really, really messy, that the simple fact that these two cannot come together, and co-parent the right way when it comes to these kids. Now, I want to talk about co-parenting specifically, like today, because I don't want to get into too much of what they was doing and what they had going on and stuff like that. It's because the simple fact it's ridiculous. Let me bring up a Blavi. What's up,
Hello.
Blavi? How you doing today? What's up?
I think okay. I've actually watched him on Teen Mom, and he ain't nothing. I do agree that it's odd. I think that she's very problematic with the way she has children by men she don't know and don't like. But he sat there and did a lot. Like he hasn't been taking care of his child, and it's because he simply don't want to. And I
Mm,
think she just uses the money as a way that, well, if you're not going to be in the child's life, at least pay some of these bills.
yeah. But he was on the internet or something. He was showing a wad of cash and Gucci shoes and stuff like that. And she chimed
Hmm.
in on it and was like, well, you over there showing all this money and stuff, but you ain't doing nothing for your child. And that made me look at him funny, like, man, you giving fathers like me and other men out here a bad name, because when women see him doing it, they're gonna think that all man that looks somewhat like him gonna do the same exact thing. And I'm just here to say that no, it's a lot of men out here that's not like that. Like, he's like that because he chooses to be like that. Now she's trying to pressure him into being in the child's life. He rather just deal with child support and run around like
But
he's
his
not trying
child
to play
support is
anything.
very low. She asked him for $500 a month, and that's
I thought
reasonable.
it was
That's
two
very
fifty
low.
a month.
Oh
It's
well,
five
250.
hundred
Well,
a
she
month.
has no. It's 250 because she has two different baby daddies, so she's getting
Oh,
500,
okay.
250 for each. But he's the one that really complains about paying it, and it's just like, well, then don't buy a pair of Jordans, same price.
Hmm. You see, I look at it this way. He buying them Jordans, and Jordans be 300,
Hmm.
$400. I don't wear Jordans. I suffer. I'm the type of dad, I will suffer. I don't go buy shoes and stuff like that. I go buy things for my kids and what my kids need. Because their needs come first before my needs. My needs ain't nothing compared to what he's doing. Because simple fact is, dude, you out here buying Jordans and you can't pay $250 a month for child support. Like, man, that's the easiest
No,
payment you can do.
he's not on child support. She's just doing it like she just wants him to pay something. So she hasn't put him on child support. That was the whole thing. She's just
Oh well,
asking him to contribute.
well, the best thing if they want to do that, then they need a co-parenting plan. If he has a problem with spending money, they need a co-parenting plan so he can be able to get the baby 6 months out of the year. She can get him 6 months out of the year. And what that does is it does this. There's no child support will be involved. He will eventually have to spend money on his child. If he doesn't, if the court starts seeing that he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, they might give the mom full custody just because he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And then he might be forced to really pay child support. So he got to step his cookies up. To be honest
He
with you,
doesn't.
like,
Yeah, but he doesn't want to pay child support. I just think that he's one of those men who just he really it's difficult for the child because he'll say he's coming to see the child and won't come, and then she'll be crying and being upset, and it's like awful seeing her, and he does it all the time on the show. She'll be real excited to see him. He doesn't see her as often as he should, and it's just like, if y'all can't get along, then get a mediator.
yeah, true. Thank you for the super
Cause
chat,
she,
even. I appreciate you a lot.
cause she
But how
goes
do
to
you?
his mother's house,
Yeah.
and I think the child's about 5 or 6, and she just started going. And sometimes she just doesn't want to go because she doesn't know the person. She doesn't want, if you don't know somebody and you have to spend a weekend with them, it's not so much what the mother is saying. She just doesn't know you, and I think he takes that as a slight sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But how do you feel though? Let's step off of them real quick. How do
Hmm.
you feel about co-parenting? When a relationship don't work and y'all got a kid or maybe children, how do you feel about co-parenting? Like, what is your take on that?
I feel like it should be done. But I feel like it doesn't matter what happens in your relationship. You two should be there. If one person is not living in the same, okay, here's the thing. If you don't want to spend time with your children, I feel you should pay child support. Because if you saying I'm going to take less time for my children to make more money, then you should supplement the money. If you
Mm-hmm.
want the time, then I can see it being 50-50. I can see when the child goes to your house, you pay for the child. When the child goes to my house, I pay for the child. I think the issue comes into play where a lot of people have children and don't really understand who they're having a child with.
Mm. Yeah, that's the same thing kind of with her. She didn't understand who she was having a child with, but at the end of the day, my honest opinion on co-parenting, yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think it's perfect for two people to get the parenting plan in place because simple fact, when you are out here having these kids and then one of the parents don't agree with what you're doing, maybe they don't want you to have the child but want you to send them money. I think
Hmm.
that stops that and it lets you be able to spend your money and mediate how you want to spend your money with the kids. That's for both parents when they have the kids are 6 months out of the year. Maybe both of them when they get them, you don't have to put so much pressure on the other parent. Like, oh, I need some money from you. Like, it's getting kind of ridiculous because I see a lot of some women out here doing that. I don't really
Hmm.
see some man doing it. I don't see them. I need my here on like little TV shows
Well,
or
I mean, granted, you don't see it, but like for instance, I have a cousin who was given partial custody and is not the primary parent. And that's simply because the father can provide a better life. So the child lives with his father like Monday through Thursday and lives with his mother on the weekend. And that's because it's in the best interest of the child because she wasn't in a place to take care of the child. And he made that effort. I think, like I said, too many men, not all, but there are a lot of men who won't even go to court when they get a court summons from it.
mm,
Like, just go to court. If they say, if this is something you really want, it's effort. Like college, they didn't just give you the degree, you had to earn it. When you at your job, you're just not giving a promotion. You got to earn it. And I think with kids, too many men and women feel like, ugh, I don't want to go through all of that because I know X, Y, and Z. But this is your child. There's nothing more. There's nothing. There's nothing more important. And I think too, a lot of women wouldn't have a problem with the father having the child more, because I know a lot of women who said, I would rather the child have full custody with him so I can make more money and provide a better life for my child in the next few years and be able to get into a better living situation.
Yeah, because it's like, with that being said, like, I agree totally with everything you said. Like, whoever is making the well, basically a better living for the child, you don't even have to be making the most money, because some
Mm-hmm.
people, one of the parents could be making more money, but that don't mean that they're doing it the right way by making a lot of money. They could be out here selling and out in the streets trying to get more money, but the other parent could be doing a job like a 9 to 5, making 40 hours a week, and bringing in a check. That's what the court
Mm-hmm.
systems look at, and so I think it is best for the kid to go with the parent who's doing better, because some of these parents out here, they don't know what to do, and it's like, in their case, thank you allegedly for the super chat, I appreciate you a lot. But some of the kid the like parents out here, they're like, they really are both confused. Like, I don't think certain people know how to read those court papers, so they don't want to go in deeply and trying to read it and then having to deal with the court. But I look at it this way: in certain cases, see, people have it made so easy to just do co-parenting. Some people
Mm-hmm.
don't have it that easy, because with the native tradition, like if you're dealing
Yeah.
with somebody who's in the native tribe, or their mom's native tribe or something, like it could be 8-9% native. They don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be literally full native. It's harder to get the kids when your kids got their minds native, because you got to go pay for a lawyer, pay for these fees, and you got people out here that's getting these stuff for free, like, and they don't want to show up. Like, little, I done seen people and be like, man, I'm about to try to get custody of my kids. I'm like, when's your hearing or whatever? When's your meeting? You supposed to meet up with these people over the phone, because nowadays it's COVID. Man, I just recently heard a dude. He recently told me, man, I ain't going to that. He said, I clicked in that thing, click back out. I said, bruh, you getting free, you getting free information on how to get your child, and they helping you get your child. But you sitting up here telling me that you said you don't want to go. I said, man, if I was in your shoes, bro, I would be the happiest person in the world to accept that free conversation from these people that's gonna give me my kids, or help me at least get my kids a plan that's set in place to where if I can get full, either have custody, that'd be cool, But some of these dudes too that'll do the same thing. They don't care to go to court. They just like, man, I don't. I'm
Because
just
let's
gonna
be
do
honest,
what
as a woman, if you really do not want to take care of your kid, you wouldn't. I mean, women who don't want to, I know women who've left their child at at the father's house and just went on with their life and said, deal with it.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. But Stacey, I'm sorry to hear that. You can call up and tell more about it. But we got D Brooklyn in the background though.
Oh,
Let him up. If he is D Brooklyn
I
up.
just wanted to talk about. Oh, I just wanted to talk about the.
Hey, drop me down for a second.
Yeah.
Drop me down.
Oh, I just wanted to talk for a minute about the Iggy Azalea situation and how,
Mm.
like, just for the fact about how you got to be really careful what you put online, and that children will see this one day, and the whole thing of some like, how do you feel about, I don't even want to say the baby mama culture, but having children with a person and having no commitment?
Mm. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you want to just sit up there and to me, honestly, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. If I'm about to have a child with you, we got to have some type of commitment together. We actually got to try to work on being together, because I'm not finna just have no baby with you and then just bounce out like, yeah, you talking about with Playboy Cardi and stuff and
Yeah,
Iggy
like,
Azalea.
but like,
Yeah.
when you see her rant, right? It seems like he just wanted a child, and he wasn't saying he was going to commit. He didn't. He doesn't even sign the birth certificate.
What? Now,
Yes.
what you know what's crazy though? I didn't even know that they had a baby together because I didn't. It was like what, it was it, a one night stand or something like that. They had a, was it a fling, or was he was?
No, they were dating. Though they were dating. I mean, the one night stand, if we want to be honest, was a lot of people. I mean, look at Kylie and Travis. They were dating for a month and had a baby. And it's like, this is a permanent situation. Why are you taking this so carelessly? I mean, if marriage is not for you, great. But why are you having a baby with somebody? Just like, a baby's not a sophisticated pet.
No, it's not. It's a long term situation. That child
Lifetime.
grows. It's lifetime. That's forever. Like you might pass before that baby pass away. You know, that's just what it is. Like these kids are growing into adults. You got to raise a child. Like it ain't nothing like in this. It is nothing in this world like having a baby and having to raise it. Like you can literally plant a seed and build a tree, and that tree one day will fall. It's like as long as that tree is steady growing, that's how long a lifetime is. Like it's a lifetime with a kid. Like kids grow up to be like 70 and 80. They grow into adults and
But what
then
do you like? Because she's online tearing him down, saying that he'd rather be with little Uzi. He's having side chicks. She's 30. He's 24. Like,
Mm.
why? I said to somebody, I don't feel sorry for her because she's doing all this clout, all this. Like, you made it to 30 years without having a child. Why would you be so careless to do it now? When, I mean, if she was 16, this is different. But you're 30.
Yeah, and
If
it's
you
like this woman 30, I didn't even know she was now. Yeah, I don't I'm with you the total 100% agree with you, Blobby, on that one. She knew what she was doing when she was messing around with that young dude. She just wanted
Mhm.
something young. She didn't even want to get nobody her age. She had to go for, and then a rapper on top of that. Why you can meet no regular dude and just have a baby with him? You know, a regular dude your age got something. He built himself. He ain't out here rapping because I ain't saying that all rappers are bad fathers. I'm not saying that. I mean, look at the baby.
Mm-mm.
He take care of his daughter. You know, he does things for his kids and nephews. There's certain rappers out here that do a lot for their kids. It's just not seen, but they do stun it when they do show it off. They show
But
it off.
do you think that that's a profession to have children? Like, for instance, because you travel a lot, because you're, building your success, is it fair to a child if you're touring all the time? Like, for instance, a Future. Is it fair for him to keep having children when he's not making, I don't even want to say an effort, but he has a lifestyle that's not conducive for a child, for a 9 to 5 child? Is
Yeah,
it right to keep having children when you know
no,
you can't be everywhere?
no, it's not. If you
Well,
can't be there mentally and physically for that child, hell no. Don't be having no kids if you're not ready to stop doing traveling the world because you can't travel the world with kids. Some places kids can't go. So hell no. You need to quit. If you can't quit smoking and drinking and drugging, whatever you're doing, and you want to be around all these people partying, hell no, don't be having all these kids because then it's like, damn, they having kids out of wedlock. These people ain't even getting married or nothing. They just had a baby. And so they making it okay. They making it okay, and I don't agree with it.
Mm. Go ahead, D. Brooklyn.
if you talking straight parenting,
Hmm.
not married, just
Hmm.
having kids.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if they in the music industry, Hollywood, NBA, NFL, throwing a baseball. There's certain people. Look at what Celine Dion did. She was in her
Hmm.
50s, late
Yeah.
40s with her first kid. Now I'm
No, that
not
was her
saying
second.
that. Well, what I'm saying
She
is,
had the first one, and then she had the second two later.
Mm.
okay. My point was, it depends on the situation. You can be single and have a
Hmm.
kid and still be able to raise that child. Now, we not all, ain't nobody over here celebrities. You
Hmm.
feel me?
Hmm.
We not talking about the Cardi B's and the whoosy watsies and the whatchamacallits. That don't matter. This is real life. We real folks out here. What are we doing for our children, our
But you
communities?
can apply that to men who do other jobs. I mean, if you're a truck driver, there are jobs that people travel a whole lot of time. What is a parent? Is what it
Yeah,
comes down to. Because
that's
although not everybody's a celebrity, there are a lot of people who have jobs and are working in states not with their children. And I'm just saying, there's so much you can buy as a parent, right? And
Take
even
me for
this goes.
instance.
Go ahead.
Take me for instance. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
Take me for instance. When I was active duty military, deploying every other damn year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I couldn't do it no more. I want to see my kids grow up. That's why I got off of active duty. I was tired of just picturing them phone calls. That's not what a father's supposed to be. And regardless of the way I was raised, I grew up getting beer and cigarettes at a corner store from my father, 12 years old, 10 years old. I ain't doing that to my kids. They grown now. So I'm not saying everything I did for my kids was perfect. I wasn't the best husband. I wasn't the best father. I'm, ooh, I was there. I'm gonna continue to be there. I called Trevor every day. Talked to him twice already today. Clowning in the car
Mm-hmm.
with his friends.
But
You know,
I'm more so saying,
if
when do we get rid of generational trauma and generational issues? Because, like, for instance, I'm a
like taking
teenage
all the
mom.
bullshit out of the equation and just handle your
You're right, but it's
responsibility.
easy. But it's easy to say that when you're older than when you're younger going through it. It's easier saying that
I was 24 years
later in
old
life.
when my daughter was born.
You're right, but what if you were 16?
I was 20 when Trevor was born.
But what if you were 16 in high school? Your mother did it, your grandmother did it, you did it. How do you prevent your child from doing it?
Setting the example.
But you didn't. You already
Being
had
a
the child.
man, being a woman.
Mm.
Period. I
I
mean,
think
I don't know. I didn't see the beginning part of this,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know what was said. All I know is when I came on this thing, y'all talk about celebrities. They don't matter. Positive influences is us as parents. Period.
But too many children are raised by celebrities. Too many children are raised by television.
Who's that on?
That's on the parents, but the parent has to work. If you are a single parent, you is so much you can do. If you are working and going out and hustling, working 2 or 3 jobs to put your child through school, through,
Hmm.
have food on the table, chances are your child is going to rely heavily on either their grandparents or television or their friends. So the issue becomes, though the celebrity is not everybody, the celebrity is who most people will see. And a lot of people look up to it if it's right, indifferent, or not. And if you can say, well, there's an easier way to do this, let's show you plan C, a lot of people are open to that. You can't get better, you can't do better unless you know better.
Right.
what's up, Auntie Big Red? What's up with you?
What's up, y'all? Hey, everybody. Happy
Hi.
New Year. Hey,
Good. How
Mr.
you doing?
Bobby.
Hi,
Hey,
your hair
brother.
looks great.
Thank you. I let it down for once.
Mm.
I actually agree with all of you, actually. But I like what D. Brooklyn said because I was the same way. I was a young girl when I was like 18 when I took my nieces in and I adopted them first. Then when I got 19, I got pregnant
Mm.
and I had to take care of three. Then when I turned 20, I adopted my husband's oldest daughter. And then it
Mm,
came along the last six. It's a hard, and I was a dancer. I had a career. but it's not for everybody. And don't be scared to ask for help. Because I wasn't scared. I asked the churches. I asked everybody for help to get me where I'm at today. You cannot be scared. And if you're doing things that you have no business, please don't do it in front of your kids. Just I get tore up, but I promise you, my grandkids ain't around when I do that. Don't what they see you do, more than likely they will follow. They will follow. And you don't want that nowadays. I'm just saying. You don't want that. Next, somebody say something. About you look pretty.
Thank you. No, I said all I said. I just brought that up because it just was making the waves, and I thought she was being very ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
honestly,
Well, I just want.
that it does when I say like when a blabber brought it up, it has a lot to do with what the celebrities is showing the youth and what they're showing these because they're easily influencing the whole entire world. Everybody's looking at TV and looking at how the way people are how the way people are acting. Sometimes people don't even grow up in the household with both the parents and both the parents, in a married couple. And if they do grow up in that household, they still gonna look at TV and they still gonna go off of what they see on TV. Because nowadays we got the internet raising our kids more than we are. So it's like everywhere you turn around, you seeing something, you seeing it mostly with the people that's on TV that's doing it. Because I wouldn't even brought up this conversation if I wouldn't even seen what was going on Team Mom. I don't even watch Team Mom. But this hit headline. So they was talking about this guy, like he wasn't being there for the child and he leaked the mother's number. And just doing all this type of petty stuff, like, and so you got to think about it. This hasn't happened. This ain't been the first time this has happened. This probably been like the 200 or 300 times that this has happened. It just so happened that somebody who's on Team Mom just happened to do it. Now it's being spoken about because they have a major influence, like I say, on these kids. So when these kids are watching it, they're gonna grow up and think it's okay. They're gonna grow up and if the parents ain't telling them it, even if the parents is telling them like don't do that, they still gonna think that it's cool, it's hip to do it because a lot of kids are looking up to these people on TV thinking that it's cool to go out here and have these babies. What if it's in wedlock or not, and not try to take care of them? At the end of the day, they just sitting back like, you know what? I'm gonna do what he did. If I have a baby and my girl get the tripping, I'm not gonna talk to her. I'm gonna leak her number, and I'm gonna do exactly what he did. And that's not the way to go about doing things because you can have a strong dad in the house, a strong mother in the house, and they can tell you, baby, don't do this, don't do that. At the end of the day, you can lead a horse, but you can't make the horse drink it. So it's the same thing like with raising these kids. These kids gonna go out here. You gotta let your kids go out here in this world and explore this world, and they have to choose. It's like you have choices in life. Like if you choose to go to the army or you choose to go work this job, that's your choice. Nobody pressures you to go do it. It's just like with kids. When they get older, you can't tell your kid, "Oh, I need you to be a doctor. I need you to be a lawyer. I need you to be the next president of the United States." They're gonna look at you like, "Damn, you putting too much pressure. Let me do what I want to do." So when it's like they look up to these celebrities. I'm telling you, I hear it a lot from these kids. These kids see these celebrities, they go crazy.
Jill, let me ask you.
But a lot of them deal also the moms keep how do you say they handicap them. Like when my boys thought they knew all they wanted to do, they kept crashing to the wall. My anxiety was so high because no offense to nobody in the chat, but my boys are black boys. I was so scared every time they did something crazy. I stopped letting them come home. I was like, if you're going to be grown, you cannot come back. And if you come back, $100 a week, or you're going to pay this bill. And that's what got them up on their feet. Now they all got their own houses, but I don't play with them. I don't play with them at all. If you say something, you mean it. You can't keep awarding them for their bad behavior. You can't say, oh, it's okay. Oh, make the F. Hey, it's okay. I'm going to give you $100 for that one A. I'm not giving you no $100 for no damn A. Who gonna do that? Hell no, I graduated. You need to graduate now. These kids really believe. My grandkids is like this now. Hey, Nana, I made straight A's. And what you gonna give me? I said, I'm gonna give you a pat on the head. Say, keep it up and keep on living. I'm just saying, stop giving these kids awards all the time. Stop it. It's making them soft. These kids are so freaking soft. I'm just saying. They are. They keep letting them come back home. How you gonna be 100 years old, stay back at home? No, you got to get out of here. Period. You got
Gio,
to
let me
go.
ask you something. Gio, let me ask you something. You got 2 kids, very young. They got the tablets, they got a TV in the room, whatever. They got the living room, sitting there watching TV, doing what? Watching TV, kid shows, whatever. They got the clicker, flipping through, whatever. Who's supervising them kids?
Me. And the only reason why they on their tablets and stuff right now half the time because I be on live and they out of school right now. If they was in school, wouldn't be no tablet. They'll be on homework, and I have to.
No, I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because
there's a point to what I'm getting. There's a point to what I'm getting at. You know what they're getting into. You do.
Oh yeah.
You know, we talked about this already, so I already know all these answers.
Yeah.
Because of that, you don't have to worry about the outside influences through the celebrities because you're already instilling what you need for them kids right now.
Right.
Yeah, but D Brook, I still do have to worry about it because my son, he loved Travis Scott. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even know he knew who Travis. He came to me, he was like, "Dad, Travis Scott, I like him." Like, cause you know that Fortnite video game, he came on the video. See, this is how heavily influenced they is to these kids. This man had popped up on the video game. It went crazy on YouTube everywhere. Like he was a big little thing. He did a performance on the video game. They had scans for him, kids going out buying the scans. So my son, that's how he knew Travis Scott. Like he knows. I show him a picture. Like, who is this? He's like, "Oh, that's Travis Scott." But you show him a picture of somebody very important. I'm like, "Who is that?" He's like, I'm like, man, like it's hard to tell these kids something because they do what they like. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they watch what they like to watch, and I can't stop them because it's gonna pop up on somewhere else. Like they might be watching another YouTube or another TV show. It's gonna pop up on there. They could watch a cartoon. It's gonna pop up like, and they gonna be like. Children take likings to what they like. Like I grew up, I used to like Power Rangers. I've seen how it was when I was a kid. I went from the Green Ranger to the Red Ranger to the Blue Ranger to the White Ranger, and I like the Black Ranger at the end. It's just because I like the colors, you know, like I like the colors that they was wearing. But when I was growing up, noticing that, I started falling off in the other shows. I was like, "Oh, I like that." Then I started seeing. Like rap, my dad introduced me kind of to rap music. He used to ride around in the car and he used to just listen to all this gangster rap, like, and all I would, and then he put in Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I was like, "Dad, can I have that CD?" You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what they was doing or what they was talking about. I just took it home, listened to it. I wanted to be a rapper. You know, I was rapping at 4 years old. Like, it's just the influence. You can't. It's gonna come if it happens. It's gonna just happen. You got to learn how to deal with it though and teach your kids like, look, you know, if you do it, like I tell my kids straight up, look, man, if you do that, you know, you're going to have to do some things and sacrifice some things for what you want if you go that route. And it's not going to be good. I tell them the scary part of it because I have to scare them not to do it, you know, and I have to tell them about the Bible, all types of things. It leads into different types of conversations when I'm talking to them. So they know you can just enjoy watching these things right now, but don't think you can be like them.
And that's where I was trying to get at. You're putting your values, which you know right now. It's not saying that we're any better than our kids, because that's our goal, is to have our kids in a better position when they're our age than we are now.
Yeah.
You know, it's nowadays where I see these mothers, they want to be best friends with their daughters. These fathers want to be best friends with their sons. You know, and you crippling them, especially in certain situations, in certain communities. You crippling them.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I would say it's nothing wrong with trying to be a child's friend. It's just you're right, D Brooklyn. It's the way you go by trying to be their friend. You know, by like just you want to go out and get some drinks when they 18. You know what I'm saying? So you like teaching these kids how to become alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to smoke with me? You're teaching these kids the wrong thing because that's a gateway. That's just me personally. That's what I think. It's a gateway. I'm not teaching these kids nothing. I don't even want my kids around certain people because I don't want them taking the trait of doing so. I think they have a worse chance of getting influenced by people who I bring around them or who I let be around my kids. What's up, Josie? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope everybody is. You know, I don't have children of my own, but I help raise my sister. I'm 10 years older than she is. I babysit a lot. And in watching the kids today, more and more I realize the children are a product of their raising. If you don't teach a kid morals, if you don't take the time to teach a child right from wrong, somebody out there will.
Mm.
And it's not always who you want to have your children's attention. And they, like I said, they're a product of their raising.
That's true, though. But you could be the perfect family as well. You could be the perfect mother, the perfect. So you think, because there's no such thing as perfect to me.
Mm.
You could think you're doing all the right things. You done took them to church, but they still gonna go out there and they gonna do what they want to do. But when they do, you just got to stand by your decision. Because what make a great parent mean what you say and say what you do. Do everything you say you're gonna do. Don't be saying, you know what, go sit in the corner. Oh, you know what, you all time, I'll come back.
Yeah.
No, it don't work like that. Mean what you say and do what you say. Do what you
and
mean.
live
Don't
what you say.
You can be your kids' friends. And my girls are like my best friends, but they know a difference between their friends and the friendship here. Because I ain't none of them friends you pass that blunt to. I wish one would this way. I got a
Mother,
38-year-old.
I remember hearing my mother say, "You'll never hear me say, oh, my kids will never do that." Although she raised us the right way as best as she knew how and instilled in us, she wouldn't lie for us. She wouldn't take up for us if we were wrong. And that has been instilled in me from day one. She said, if you're guilty, you're guilty.
Exactly.
And if you're
I
right,
remember when Miss Josie just said something that take me back to my son when he was 19. One of my kids, they were 19. And I don't know what he did with the police, because now he's like 35. He did something wrong, but then the police knocked at the door. I said, who you look for? They said the name. I said, come on, baby. I noticed my son was up under the bed. I said, he right under that bed right there with his remote control. You can go and take him where he needs to go. And I let him sit in jail for a whole day. Do you not know he still remember that? He said, if it weren't for my mom doing that, this day that boy would not look behind his back. He's going to pay his tickets on time because he said, I would dime them out. I really will. I'm not going to jail for nobody. I won't go to jail for my own husband.
Yeah.
And I ain't going to be nobody my wife. That ain't happening.
I've heard people say about their children, well, I'm not going to teach them this because they have a right to make up their own mind. And they're 10, 12 years old.
Oh, no.
And
they don't even know what
that is just asking for it.
A kid mind ain't well developed actually until they like at the end of maybe even 16. Maybe even 16, their mind starts to develop. So why they let these kids go out and do what they want? What the kids doing swiping cards at 11 years old? Man, I seen these kids on Christmas. They got their own Visa, Geo.
It's crazy.
I said to myself,
man, I wouldn't dare give him. I'm talking about, look, Auntie Red, I had my card connected to this phone that I had. I let my son just have his phone. Like, okay, I'm gonna see what you're gonna do with the phone. If you're gonna be making phone calls to people you shouldn't be, or if you're gonna be doing important things with it. He been doing good with it so far. He just be on it on his YouTube or whatever. But he must have was about to buy something. Like he was downloading little games and stuff. and I noticed my card was connected to it. I said, "Oh yeah, no, this game about $15. I gotta take my card from here." He said, "But why that?" I said, "Because you ain't fit to run my card up. I'm not
Period.
responsibility. Because next thing you know, that 15 turned into 200. You just
Mhm.
clicking and clicking and clicking." And I ain't got no more money before you know you done bring about $2,000 up on this phone, and you deleting games
Gosh.
and doing it all. What's up, Joanne? How you doing?
Hey, Miss Joanne. Good to hear
My
you,
first
Rio.
time on any of these shows, and I've been listening
Hmm.
for
Well, welcome.
a
Thank you.
long time. So I love your show, Gio. Thank you for bringing me 2 children, 2 daughters. A- And I got to tell you, and I said it down below, if you are a consistent person, consistent in raising your children, you both do it together, your message as a family, as the parental unit is the same, it's hard to fail. What the problem is people don't eat together as
Now, see,
Nope.
you
families
going in and out,
anymore.
Joanne, but
People just need to respect each other within their families. You can't expect children to respect
now,
others.
Joanne, can I say something?
Sorry,
Can I say something? Because that
but if you don't respect each,
no, I can
sure, go ahead.
you was cutting in and out, but I heard what you said about you gotta raise them right in the household. Now, all right, it was this Caucasian kid that was from out here in California, right? It's a story. It's a major story. He was doing everything he was supposed to do good. He wanted to be a crip, right? This is a real story, actual story. He lived in a whole entire like a mansion. His family was rich, well off, both parents in the house and everything. He wanted to be a crip so bad. He went to go join the crip gang. Now, when they got time to put in some work, he was driving the car. These boys then killed somebody, and he go to court. Now, this is where this plays a major factor. He ended up telling on the two little young African American kids. They got more years than him. He ended up going back home to his parents like it was just a slap on the wrist for him. It's not a joke. Like your parents can raise you the right way either way. Whatever attracts this child to join that gang, it was his decision. The parents they probably could have been telling him, I was like, don't join the gang. Don't ever do this. Don't do that. Sometimes pressuring kids not to do stuff, they gonna end up doing it. Because my mom used to always tell me, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And I ended up doing everything she told me not to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because you can't stop these kids from doing what they want to do. Only thing you can do is just tell them right from wrong. When they get older past 18, they're gonna make their own decision on doing whatever
Yeah,
they want to do.
Well, I tell you,
I agree, but you have to give them rope.
one of the
You have to
saddest things I've
give them
ever
enough rope to
seen
hang themselves. When you
was
realize that
on,
you're giving them too much rope, you got to pull it back.
Joanne going in and out real bad.
yeah,
You
one
might
of the
want to
saddest things I think I've seen in a while was this past
Yeah, maybe I should go
Christmas.
come
back
back
down
up.
because I
Now just
couldn't
Um,
hear it.
go down and come back up because it might be just your connection right now that you just popped up. Just go back down and come back. I'm gonna let you down.
How do
What you do is you exit out of the StreamYard, and then
I do that?
you come back in. I'm gonna drop the link for you again so you
How
can be able to come
do
back
I do
in.
leave? Is that how I do it?
Hmm.
You just exit out of
Okay,
of
let
the
me see
screen
how
thing because you're having
to do this.
like his bits and pieces. We barely even being able to hear you. Like
Okay, okay. Let me see. I don't know. It's not letting me go down.
I'll put you down right here. I'll help you out. But yeah, now just
um,
exit from the background and then come back.
this pat with during this Christmas season, there was a reporter that thought it would be fun to go out and talk to young kids, teenagers, and college students about Christmas. And I just thought it was sad. I didn't think it was funny. You would be surprised. I wouldn't be afraid to say 6 out of 10 of them, when they were asked who were the wise men, what gifts did they bring,
Didn't know.
where was Christ from, They didn't know.
Mm-mm.
And they weren't lying. I mean, you could look at their face and tell that they were telling the truth. And I just, like I said, you can raise away with the children like they're supposed to be, and they still get in trouble. But a lot of them is a product of their raising. They don't really know what morals are.
But
And
you
if
know,
they go
you
ahead.
But
know what,
some
though?
of them, especially if you in a black family, I'm just saying. I don't know how what y'all. I don't know, but Gio know what I'm saying. Some of them, their parents have to work like 2 and 3 jobs, so they don't know what it is to sit down at dinner. And you say, like I do my grandkids and my family, they know they know not to play with me talking about going to sit in other rooms. So I don't play that. Sit down. What happened to you this week? What happened to you this week? Story time. I'm gonna need y'all to tell me a story. And then I'll sit back and I'll test them about the Bible. And honestly, my grandson, he's 14. And he doesn't believe nothing that Bible say. He said it was man written, Mom. Nah. And now that he's coming into his own, I don't argue with him because he knows the Bible. He has to choose where he wants to go, but he's a good boy. He doesn't believe in that Bible. He does believe in Jesus Christ, but he
Yeah.
doesn't want you to sit there and tell him about that Bible. A lot of it because he's seen too many different kinds, and he doesn't believe it. He said, "I would know what's right and what's wrong, and God would show me Himself," and he believes that. So I want to believe that he's gonna grow up right, but he kind of got a blobby. That should have been your son, honey, because he's gonna be a lawyer. That should have been a blobby son, because he'd be like, I don't agree with that. See, and I like the way he does that though. I like that he's like that. And at the same time, I'm scared for him because during the coronavirus, these kids been more in their phone, more in them tablets than they have ever been in 1 year. And
But
I don't care where it's at, all over United States. So they have time to sit down and listen to WAP
I was gonna
and,
say this.
twerk.
Tap and everything.
I was gonna say this. Like,
It don't even matter, Gio, that you didn't know about that. Trust me, they got so much time on their hand, they gonna sneak and look.
yeah.
Doesn't
And I was
matter
gonna
what you
say
teach.
this,
You
like,
just gotta pray you taught them right.
yeah. I was gonna say this. Like, sometimes they say you're a product of your environment, right? Like, some of these kids that grow up in the struggle and the projects or whatever around gunshots, sometimes them be the kids that turn out to be the doctors, lawyers, and the judges and stuff like that because they
Yeah.
don't want to live in that type of environment that they was raised up in. Some kids don't like it. All kids ain't the same. I mean, you got some kids that do like that, but they grow up eventually and they get to thinking like to themselves, it's just you within yourself telling you what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to read the Bible and know Jesus and where he come from. You got to know. You got to know some word of God, though. You know what I'm saying? So you got to try to find that because if you don't, then you're gonna end up finding the devil. That just
Right.
scratches.
Because eventually they'll choose their own lane of which way they want to go when it comes to religion. They really will. But you got to put some type of religion and some type of good in them. I'm just saying you got to. Or
Yeah.
they're gonna be running around here doing a whole
Because
bunch of little
somebody will.
wops.
That's the thing, is somebody will.
Hey, Auntie.
Call up, Auntie, if you want to. I'm gonna drop the link for you. You can call up and get your perspective on this situation. How you doing today, too? By the way, hope you're having a blissful, peaceful day. But when it come to like, I don't even. I'll be honest with you. I tell my kids like who Jesus is and stuff like that because I don't want them following into like the reason why I don't celebrate holidays because I know the true meaning behind them and stuff like that. So I tell them every time a holiday pop up, I teach my kids at least about that, but I don't force it upon them. I let them still be kids and grow up, like to choose what they want to choose in life. Like if my son was to choose to be a different way, I'm not gonna judge him or anything like that. I'm like, hey
Right.
man, I'm still your daddy. Like I still love you. Like don't get it messed up. Like I'm just gonna disown you. I'm still you chose to do what you wanted to do. I still have to be able to somewhat teach you different lessons in life as you do get older. As I'm older,
But
I
let
get
me ask you, this is for Gio and D Brooklyn. This for you two. Okay, I'm gonna start with D Brooklyn first, Gio, because I know
And
you're gonna have to
a
think on
young person
it.
needs to know they've got somewhere to turn.
Right.
They
What
need
if
to
your
know
son
that.
came home and said he was gay?
Man, I love my
Then
son
what
to
would you
death. I'm
do?
just gonna answer the question. I love my son to death. I ain't even gonna care. That's still my baby. At the end of the day, that's still my son. I
That's
don't want
right.
nobody to hurt him. Straight
I
up.
would honestly say, are you sure? And find out what the response is. And if he made an actual commitment to it, I'm not going to think of him any different. Why would I?
No, you can't treat them different, but you do have to warn them what's out there in the street. What they will be. It's kind of like I'm
A
biracial.
perception of it.
It's kind of like I'm a biracial person. I'm 53 this day. I got to hear this. You're not all the way black. What color you mix with? You know how tired I get of that. So if one of my grandkids or one of my kids come and say they're gay, I would literally have to tell them what they're gonna be looking forward to out in them streets, because you know it's gonna be hard. That's what I just want to know your opinion on that.
Yeah. Because that don't mean necessarily, you know how the Bible say, oh, if you this and that, then you, that don't necessarily mean that's right. You know what I'm saying? God ain't judging people. You can be the nicest person in this world and be whatever you want to be. I'm pretty sure God ain't looking at you. You can still get looked at funny. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
People can still get looked at funny. It could be the most person that don't like nobody, and God be like, you know what, I like it. I love that person. Because that person is taking your shit, and he doing what he want to do, or she doing what she want to do, and it ain't no problem with what they doing. You don't know how God looks at people. You know, I don't know either. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what God thinking about. But at the end of the day, when it comes to these kids learning about different stuff and morals and the aspects of life itself, like growing up, having kids and stuff like that, they need to learn how to at least beat up for their kids too. At the end of the day, they need to beat up for their kids too, because on a different note, if they ain't, then their kids are gonna do the same thing. It's gonna follow. They're gonna do the same exact thing what they seen their parent do. And I'll be damned if mine do that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got to teach them every day. Hey, look, I have lectures. I lecture my kids every night. Like there is not a night that don't go by I don't lecture them. I have to sit up here and be like, hey, all right, devices off, headphones off, eye contact. Look at me, because I'm teaching them. When you talk to somebody, you got to look at them in their eyes directly. If you're being serious, you look at them in their face and talk to them like a man or like a woman. You have to represent me when you leave this house, because you can't run around here doing whatever you want to do, because there's consequence to it. I tell them straight up, hey, you want to end up in jail? You think you can do what you want to do, you end up in jail. Don't call me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up there and blow my line up, because I don't run off credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna run off of collect calls. Hell no. Would you answer? No. That means no. So I ain't gonna answer that all the time. 2-3 calls that you do get, you better call and have a plan and set and say something about what you gonna do. Because other than that, nah. Now if you're innocent, you're innocent. Other than that, I'll come to your defense. But if you're guilty, shit, your ass is guilty. Because you do the crime, do the time. That's straight up. That's the best thing I can tell you. But yeah, I'm on the last let's say last 10 minutes, because I'm trying to get Auntie's advice to call up here. She's saying she gonna talk too much. Auntie advice, we don't care if you talk. This is what you're supposed to do when you come up here. You talk. We all talk a lot. I talk a lot.
Well, I'm finna get ready to drop out. I just want to come in and tell you guys Happy New Year. I love you all. I love everybody in the chat. It's nice to meet. What's your name, Miss? I don't have my glasses on.
Josie.
Miss Josie. I'm on my phone. I ain't on my laptop. So I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna see you. Are you having a New Year thing, Gio? Y'all having a New Year thing?
Yeah, we love you too, Auntie Big Red. But Perry, I think, is doing something on Thursday tomorrow. I think he's doing something tomorrow. So yeah,
I may not be able to drop through. I don't know. My old man get off by 11:30. I'm gonna try to dance my way into the year. I'm off 5 days finally after 3 years, and I'm taking all 5 days. Believe me. So I'm gonna tell y'all Happy New Year, Oblavi. I'm gonna be looking for you on Chit Chat, and I love you all.
Right.
See you later. Bye, brother.
I know.
yeah. But any last words y'all would like to say about the topic I just brought up?
It's a topic that a lot of people ought to give a whole lot more thought to than they do. And you was talking about how old are your kids, Gio?
My kids is 5 and 6. My daughter's the youngest.
Well, even if a child gets in trouble and they're guilty and you're not going to take up for them, they still need to know that I'm here for you. I love you.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you all day. I
Yeah.
love you. You know
Yeah.
you messed up, right? You still messed up. I can't do nothing for you.
I heard a woman say one time, I always try to look at my children through the eyes of God, and his eyes are love. And that's the way I reckon we all ought to live, for everybody, to look at people for the good in them, because sometimes to your children, you're the only Bible they'll ever read until they get grown. And what you live out in front of them is all they're going to know.
That's food for thought.
Hmm.
That's great food for thought.
So, but I got to run too, but I've enjoyed it in Ablave and D. Brooklyn. I enjoyed seeing y'all. Ablave, you're one of my favorites.
Thank you.
And I hope to see y'all tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, you
Okay.
will.
See you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace and love.
Bye.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. Well, I'll wait for Perry's show because something happened to me today that's had me heated. I ain't never been so mad in my life. But I think with the kid thing, I wish you parents the best of luck, because every time I see somebody's child, I think, "Ooh, this is not for me." Especially when I go to the Target. Ooh, that's a whole nother story. But the Target child is not for me.
So, Bobby, you ain't gonna ever have no kids. You ain't gonna have one at least.
Maybe, I have to see. Like I said, when I turn 30, I'll reevaluate.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. Maybe one day your kid ain't gonna be like that then, But everybody kid had that certain stage, where they run through that certain stage. They just it's the terrible 2s, and then it's the terrible 3s, then the terrible 4s, then the terrible 5, then the terrible 6. And 7, they be cool after that. Like 7, they get good, but when they get 4 or 2, they get the 4, they get the Y.
Oh, wait till 11, 13 for the girl. I think they 30.
Oh no, see that I don't even want to think about that age.
Enjoy it now. Tell me.
All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
All right,
Love I'm glad she didn't blow up the spot on me either. She know what I'm talking about.
Facts.
I heard a lot of religious talk. Now, I'm not that much of a religious person, but I still put religion. Not religion, but I put God in their minds through the church. Because I'm not always going to be there. No parent's ever going to be there 100% of the time. You can't be. You got to live your life. You got to work. You have to do this. They're going to be in school. You're not going to be in school with them. You're not going to be in the playground. You're not going to be at these parks with your kids when they're teenagers. So God's going to give them something you can't. And it's all love. And I'm not saying you have to. You don't. It's what works for me.
What they want to do. I don't even look at it as. I'm not trying to even bring a religion with it. People gonna do what they want to do. If you represent the devil, you represent the devil. I'm not gonna judge you off of what you do. If you represent God, you represent God. I ain't gonna judge you off of what you do. That's just what you choose to do. That's your preference. But I'm just morally talking about co-parenting and specifics. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what people's religion is. To be honest with you, I don't care. That doesn't mean who they are in heart. You know what I'm saying? The person could be whatever their religion is, but they could be the nicest, sweetest person in the world, and you not even know it because you're judging them off of their religion. I don't live my life like that.
This is the thing. God is God. That's it. Now, all the other people in whatever book or whatever religion you want to read up, want to study, that's a different story. But God is God. Doesn't matter what you call it or how you look at it. Got to have something, because you're not going to always be there around.
I'm like this. I don't even care if you're atheist. I don't care what you.
Here we go, Mike and Natalie.
I'm just saying, I don't care what you do. We can both be totally different, but that don't mean that we can be We gotta be evil towards each other. You know what I'm saying? As long as we cool with each other and nice with each other, teaching these kids and teaching these other people how to basically co-parent and stuff like that, man, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like everything will be good, but it's about co-parenting. I'm telling you, D Brooklyn. Besides the religion or whatever, that stuff ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's about how the way people raise they kids to thinking if it's okay to be in the house and not teaching how to be there for them kids with both parents. You know what I'm saying? Even if y'all ain't together, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You have to figure something out to where both of y'all got time with these kids, because really to me it's about the time that you put in with co-parenting and these kids. It's about timing to me, honestly. But that's your last words, D Brook.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, my brother. Peace and love.
I love that topic though. For real.
Already,
I'll see you around.
All right. Peace. But yeah, there y'all have it. You know the deal. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at geo_said_it. And you can follow me on YouTube at this. I'm finally getting right. I got a band-aid over my hand. I stuck it. Some keys got stuck in my hand or whatever. But follow me down here on YouTube, Geo Malak. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And when you do subscribe, hit that bell for me, that notification bell, so you do be notified when I do go live. And I like to thank everyone who called up here: D Brook, Big Red, Ablavi, Josie, Joanne. If I miss you, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of a little bit bad with names, but I appreciate y'all for calling up here. And who all the people in the chat, I appreciate all the mods. I appreciate everybody who came in the chat. I love y'all. I'm out of here. Peace and love. God bless.